Hello, Simmers. We're back to some more Cocytus River Rats FHM 11 franchise mode. And the last one we went through, year number 2 of this franchise, in which we are only allowed to use the entry draft as a means of acquiring new players. So it's been a very slow process so far. In fact, this past year was significantly worse than our first year after trading the likes of Ryan McLeod and Mikhail Granlund. And it's going to be a while. I think it's going to be at least a few more years before we're really anywhere close to competitive, I feel. So what we're going to do here, as I go back into the corner here, we're going to start out by approaching some of our upcoming FAs, including Filip Gustafsson. He wants 8 years for 9.8 and a no movement clause at 28 years of age. I don't think so. I do not think so. I mean, that's a bit much. I'm hoping to be competitive by the time that contract would be in its final stages. So I prefer not to have that long of a contract. 4 years at most, honestly. I'll give you a much higher salary. I'll give you 10.8 for 4 years. How's that? No, it seems like he wants that 8 years there. I'll see if I can go 11.1 for 4 years. No, he really wants that 8 years. I will take it to, I mean, sure, 12 mil. Nope, he really wants that 8 years. Should I just shop him, see what I could get? I mean, I know his contract's about to expire, but still, let's see. I mean, okay, we get a second round pick for him. I want to see if I can get a first. Let's see if I can get a first for him. Okay, Colorado's win now, and they need a goalie. So maybe Gustafsson can go there, and maybe we retain 50%. And unfortunately, they don't have a first round pick for this upcoming draft, but they do have one for next year. Oh, okay. They'll probably accept that. And they actually do need the retained salary in there, so we're going to do that. That's a solid deal for Filip Gustafsson. The only thing is that we don't know what the 2027 draft is going to be like. I assume it's going to be good because there's probably going to be real players in there. Okay, you know what? Let's see what other teams need. We'll come back to Colorado if there's no other teams that would give us the same value. But I want to see if there's any picks for this draft. Okay, so if we include Wallman in a trade to LA, then LA will give us their first round pick from this year. Now, LA, if we take a look at the standings, was second in the league this year. And they actually did make it to the finals as well. So this is a late first round pick. So I assume we would probably be getting one of these 3-star players with that pick if we were to get it. There's Zeke Burns. Zeke Burns is in the draft this year. So maybe that's worth it. I don't know. Let's see how much, let's see how much Wallman wants on his extension. He had an 80 defensive grade. He's already 30 though. Oh, okay. He doesn't even want an extension. So that makes that easy. Then I think that makes for a pretty easy decision as far as whether I want to trade Wallman or not. Now the choice is, do I want LA's pick for this year or do I want Colorado's pick for next year? Let's see the league standings again. All right. It looks like Colorado was good this year. And I assume they're going to continue to be good as long as they have Makar, McKenna, and Natchez and all of them. Yeah, I think I'll make this trade with LA. Yeah, Filip Gustafsson at 50% of his salary retained for the rest of the 7 days of his current contract, plus Wallman in exchange for LA's first in this year's draft offer trade. We'll see if it goes through. So that's Gustafsson and Wallman out of the way. Now you have Valimaki. He wants, roughly 6 mil for 3 years for a 2-star defenseman. I mean, he had a good defensive grade at least, but still, that's quite a bit. What about Barry? Does not want to renew his contract. Okay. What about Tatar? 6 mil for 1 year. I mean, you know what? It's not like we're going to be able to get too many other players any other way anyway. So, I mean, we may as well sign most of these guys. Makarin wants 4.9 for 3 years. Brodzinski wants 1 mil, 1.1. Johnston wants to test the market, and Grunstrom 2.2 for 3 years and a no trade clause. Okay, we can get a 4th and a 5th for Johnston and Barry. I mean, that works. That works for me. I think I'll take the one from Calgary because they're giving us a 5th for 2026 and a 4th for 2027, whereas Anaheim is giving us a 5th for 2027 and a 4th for 2028. So yeah, I'll take Calgary's offer. Let's see, what's our cap space going into next season? 44 mil? Yeah, we're good. So I think we will sign all these guys here. And there it is. The LA Kings have accepted our offer of Filip Gustafsson at 50% of his salary retained and Jake Wallman in exchange for their first round pick for this year, complete trade. What a trade for your Cocytus River Rats to obtain a first round pick. So we'll see if LA keeps Gustafson and Wallman heading into July 1st. And I think with that being done, there's nothing else we need to do as we have everybody else signed. So let's get straight into, actually, you know what? We do have one prospect in Warmold. He didn't want to sign last year due to college. Let's see if he signs this year. Yes, he will. And here's the season summary for year number 2. We had no positive categories. We had all the negative categories. A longevity bonus of 1, total season score of 1, total career score of 8. And of course, we got no points for that. Drew Bannister is up for renewal. I mean, I think there's not really much point in trying to get a new coach right now with the roster we have, right? I mean, I know it's quite obvious that we're going to be losing for the foreseeable future until we get, some solid prospects developed and on our roster, right? So we may as well just have him back for 2 more seasons here. That was an absolute fleece of a trade. Both Gustafson and Wallman walk from the LA Kings. I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, considering the timing of it, but yeah, that was certainly that was an exploit for sure. Wow, you have a stack free agency this year. Obviously, we're not participating in it, but you have Jack Eichel, you have Kirill Kaprizov, you have Jason Robertson, Gustafson, of course. Then you have Schmaltz, Tuck, Torpchenko, Cotter, Demko, Skinner, Lowry. That is a stacked free agent pool there. All right, here we go. Draft lottery time. We are, of course, currently in the number 1 spot. So let's see what the order is. At number 17, you have Buffalo, followed up by New Jersey, Philly, San Jose, Anaheim, Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, the Rangers. So Boston moves up. Columbus, San Jose, Seattle. So Ottawa moves up. Calgary, Columbus, your Cocytus River Rats at number 3. And then Boston and Ottawa at number 1. All right, here we go. Time for the biggest event of the year for your Cocytus River Rats, and that is the NHL entry draft of your number 2. So let's see who's available for us at number 3, I suppose. I mean, there's not really much else that we can do, I think. I mean, do I want to trade up for number 1 to get McKenna? I mean, there's always the possibility he could drop to number 3, but I doubt it. I mean, would Ottawa or Boston be willing to trade? Probably not. It would probably take a bit, even if I included the 3rd overall pick. Wait, what? You're telling me they would flip the 1st overall pick in exchange for the 3rd overall pick at a 7th? Hold on, let me just see. Let me just see how broken this is. Let me see if I can. What if? Okay, I mean, you're telling me this is definitely the 1st overall pick, right? That's the 1st overall pick, correct? I mean, it should be. That's the only Ottawa pick I see in the 1st round. Let's see. Let's take one more look. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more Ottawa picks here. That is definitely the 1st overall pick. Let me just see how far I can push. I don't want to like cheese this too much here. I just want to see what the game does when it's presented with this 2-week. Okay, all right, good. Now let's see if we take away that 1 second. Okay, it's still interesting, apparently. I'll take away Columbus's 2nd, and then I will take away the 2/5. All right. Now, what if I added back a 5th? How about one more? Okay. So we can get Ottawa's 1st overall pick plus 2 2nd-round picks in exchange for the 3rd overall pick plus 2/5, a 6th, and a 7th. I mean, I'm not going to cheese this that much. I'm going to remove all those picks there. And instead of a 7th, I'll give them like a 5th. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad for getting the 1st overall pick for basically just the 3rd overall pick. So I'll put Anaheim's 5th on there. All right, there you go. Finalized trade. There it is. So now we have the 1st overall pick, and we can take Gavin McKenna if we so choose. Of course, there's also Ryan Rubrook. There's Vigo Bjork. We had him in a previous GM mode with Hamilton. There's Noah Kosick. There's Mikey Burchild. There's Mathis Preston. But I don't think any of them really compare to Gavin McKenna. He's very good. He seems like he is very good. Looks like he's essentially already NHL ready. 2-star ability and a 4.5-star potential. Good offensive category already. Good mental ratings, good physical ratings. Defensive ratings need some work, of course, but you know what? That's fine. He's 18 years of age. He's got the potential. Career stats, he had 81 points last year with Medicine Hat, 74 grade. I mean, yeah, I think McKenna is got to be the guy here. Like, he's just better than basically everybody else here. So I think Gavin McKenna, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. There it is. So we'll see what happens with Gavin McKenna going into next year. I don't know if he's going to play or not. I don't know if I want to expose him to to the tire fire that is the current team, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to simulate up to our next pick, which should be late first round, which is LA's pick. All right, so Zeke Birds was just taken by Minnesota. We could have had him. However, there are 2 more 3.5-star potential centers in both Hermanson and Stenberg. So Hermanson with a 1.5-star ability, 3.5-star potential, 16 faceoffs. Then you have Stenberg, 1-star ability, 3.5-star potential, 13 faceoffs. It looks like overall Hermanson is a little bit better, especially when considering their role ratings. Yeah, Hermanson has the better role ratings all around. And then personality-wise, Hermanson, I like his personality. What about Stenberg? Not the worst personality for sure. He's not known for being loyal to his teams, so that's a negative, I would say, to his personality, but otherwise pretty solid. But Hermanson, no negatives to his personality, really. It doesn't seem. And he's actually ranked at number 15 on the mock draft. Not that I take that too seriously, and that's Stenberg's ranked at number 16. There's really not much difference between them, but I think Hermanson's a little bit better just given his role ratings. And then also given that 16 faceoffs as a center, that's already really solid. Yeah, I would say Hermanson's better. It looks like Hermanson's a little bit better, in my opinion. I mean, there are certain aspects where Stenberg is better, but overall, I would give it to Hermanson. So Elton Hermanson, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And we're now at pick number 34, and Stenberg's still there because we're 2 picks later. So, I mean, we could just take Stenberg. Let's see who else there is. There is Bucher, Pavao, Harrington, Wasselin, Tomic, Nemets, Katachev, Olsen, Perluski, Zurowski, Fedorov, Betts. Okay, so, I mean, there's still plenty of good players for this point in the draft, but I think Stenberg's got to be the pick, considering the 3.5-star potential, considering that he is already a 1-star ability. And, you know, I think him and, what's his name, Hermanson would make a nice 1-2 punch. So Stenberg, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. All right, we're at pick number 67 now, and there is plenty of goaltenders available. 5 goaltenders in a row. At the top of the list, there is Tjarnland, Perluski, Katachev, Kangas, and Flagel, and then Betts as well. I think overall I'd give it to Perluski, but Gavin Betts has a pretty good, well-rounded mental category, and then Katachev has the 18 determination. Although it is worth noting that Perluski has the 3-star consensus ability, or potential rather, and then all these other guys have the 2.5-star. I think I'm leaning Perluski right now. He's ranked at 124, and then the rest of these guys are ranked behind him, so I think this is a case where I'm going to go with the mock draft, and I think I'm going to take Perluski. I mean, I don't really like his personality, though. I mean, it's all right. It's okay. It's just not great. He has a little prone to controversy and then some issues handling criticism. I do like Katachev for his personality, for the most part. I mean, looks like he's going to be asking for quite a bit of money in negotiations, but that's about it. Personality-wise, I think I like Kangas the best. He gets a lot of respect for his clean, sportsmanlike approach to the game, and he also takes success in stride and doesn't let himself get complacent. However, in terms of overall ability, I would say he's probably the furthest out of these 5. I think I'll probably take Katachev because I like the 18 determination there. I really like that. So yeah, I'll go Katachev here. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Dennis Katachev. Now to pick 96, I would like to take a defenseman. That might be Hakanson. There's also Oliver Torkey, though. He's the 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential. But we've already taken quite a few forwards, and it looks like there's going to be centers for days here in this draft. Look how many centers there are. So just based off what I'm seeing here, I might want to go defenseman on this pick. All right, there are 7 defensemen with a 2.5-star potential. So let's compare them. I think when it comes to this pick, at least, Hakanson is definitely the most talented. He seems like he's the closest to being NHL ready. I like his personality as well. So, yeah, I'll take Wisconsin here. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And on to pick number 100 now. And all 6 of these guys are still remaining. So let's see who we're going to take next. I think I like Axel Ellefson and Easton LaPlante. So I think I'll take Ellefson with this pick. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And we're on to the 4th round now, pick number 133. There's only one more defenseman on the list that we had, Matlikov. And he seems like he is quite a ways away, unfortunately. I think with this next pick, I'm going to take Ryan Brown. He's a 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential, 3-star consensus potential. Pretty decent offensive category for this point in the draft. Pretty good personality as well. I mean, he's got that little prone to controversy, but otherwise pretty solid personality. So I think we'll be taking Ryan Brown here. And welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Ryan Brown. All right, on to pick number 135. This is 2 picks later, so I may as well just take Frollo because he is the only 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential remaining. Yep, Jakob Frollo. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And up to pick 166 now. Still plenty of centers available. I think we'll take Jaden Russo. He's got the 0.5-star ability, 2.5-star potential, pretty good personality. He had 76 points last year in the QMJHL, 63 grade. So we'll be taking him with this pick. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. Pick 199 now. I think we'll be taking Gavin Lesiuk. He's got a pretty decent mental category for this point in the draft. 15 team player, 13 leadership, 14 temperament. That's better than most other prospects you see at this point, at least compared to these guys that I'm seeing currently. Actually, wait a minute. Murniaks is pretty solid all around. 15 face-offs. Yeah, in fact, I might go with Murniaks. Even though he doesn't have the 2.5-star potential, he's still pretty solid, it looks like. Let's see his personality. Yeah, that's a good personality. 74 points last year in the USHL. Yeah, I'll be taking Murniaks with this pick. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And that will do it for the draft. So I suppose with that, we're going to sign our draft picks here, and that would include Gavin McKenna. And Hermanson wants to stay in college this year. Okay, that's fair enough. And, Katachev doesn't want to leave his team. That is a problem. Hopefully that changes over time. Not ideal. And inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Eric Stahl, John Van Beesbrook, Bernie Nichols, and Vincent Dampos. We did not have a good prospects tournament. We lost 7-1 against Vegas. Let's see. Caleb Denoye got a goal for us there. Then we lost 8-3 against Anaheim. You have goals by Wormald, McKenna, and Reber. Then we won 6-2 against San Jose. Goals by Reber, McKenna, Vainanen, Kindell, Chesley, and Wormald. Then a 5-4 loss against Vancouver with goals by Romano, Frollo again, and then Brown. And then a 4-2 loss to Detroit with goals by Stenberg and Kutayarvi. Look at McKenna's growth. He had quite a bit of growth during training camp. He's up to a 5-star potential now as well. Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't want to expose him to the tire fire this year, but we may just have to. I mean, he had solid grades during the preseason too. 70 overall grades, 72 offensive, 65 defensive. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to send down Ellefson, and then I'm going to call up Nate Schmidt just to take his place. And then I'm also going to send down Wisconsin. So I suppose what we'll have to do here is go out to free agency to just sign a backup emergency veteran defenseman. So I think that'll be Johan Ovitu, who we don't actually need to overpay. We just need to give him a contract for the purposes of having a backup defenseman. Then at forward, we have a lot of guys to send out at forward. We have all these guys here. I'll send Stenberg back to Frölunda. I'll send Denoye back to Moncton. We're down to 25. I think I'll send Vainanen down back to the SHL. And then Wormald can go to the AHL. So yeah, McKenna makes the cut. McKenna does indeed make the cut. So I think we'll just see what happens. I mean, hopefully his development isn't stunted too much by how this team is going to be, but you can be sure that he's going to be getting some ice time. I hope the coach is going to give him some ice time. Otherwise, I might have to intervene myself instead of Drew Bannister there. So that being done, here's our lineup heading into year number 3. You have Lindgren and Ruggiero in goal. On defense, you have Orlov, Valimaki, Perbix, Romanov, Christensen, Schmidt, and Ovitu. And at forward, you have Colton, McCarron, Nemestikov, Kandata, Lawton, Novak, Gardner, Fogel, Amadio, Tatar, Cini, McKenna, Roy, and Grunstrom. So I think with all that being done, we get underway with the Year 3 simulation. And honestly, I'm not expecting this team to win any more than probably 15 games this year. Oh, wow. Look at that. McKenna's already up to a 3-star. It's only been a month, not even a month of simulating. We're on October 23rd. We're 2-7-1. McKenna's already at a 3-star ability. Good to see that he's already pretty well adjusted to the NHL level. He has 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points in 9 games played. 66 grade. So having a solid season so far. I mean, I know there's a lot of season to go, but McKenna's certainly making a strong first impression here. Whoa, look at Pittsburgh in the standings. 17 straight wins for Pittsburgh. Let's see how far they can take it. They're up to 18 now. Oh, there it goes. There goes Pittsburgh's streak. They made it to 18 straight wins before they got their next loss. Wow. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline. Obviously not going to be making any trades unless we're going to be acquiring some draft picks here, as we're currently 30-30-8, which is much better than I thought we would be doing for sure. I mean, you heard me at the start of the season. I didn't think we would even get 15 wins with this team, but here we are with 30, and we could end up breaking looks like we are, in fact, going to break a franchise record for the wins in the single season so far. Obviously, we're nowhere close to being where we need to be in the playoffs, but we're still, we're making progress. We're certainly making progress in a short amount of time here. No doubt in large part to Gavin McKenna, who so far this season has 25 goals, 17 assists, and 42 points in 66 games played, 68 grade. So he has been phenomenal all throughout his rookie season so far, and hopefully he can keep that up for years to come. And then also, another surprise has been Luciano Ruggiero, who in 31 games played has a .921 save percentage. So it really just goes to show goaltending in this game, it's kind of, it really is random, isn't it? I mean, we're sitting here with a 1-star goaltender who has better stats right now than most 5-star goaltenders do. Yeah, so there you go. Ruggiero, the 1-star goaltender, has been a catalyst in keeping us out of last place. Him and McKenna. Lindgren's been doing well as well. He has a .912 save percentage in 38 games played, but it's just, it's a little bit more impressive for Ruggiero, just given the star ability. Honestly, star abilities for goaltenders just feel pointless at this point. Unless it's like a half-star goaltender who has goalie ratings in the single digits, right? At that point, yeah, you may want to consider not having him on your team. But any goaltender that it's at least, with seemingly a 1-star ability seems to be serviceable enough. And mind you, that's on a team with this defensive core. But I think before we advance into the end of the season here, I do want to re-sign some of our players here in Colton, Nemestikov, and all these guys. So Colton wants 5.8 for 3 years. I'm not going to give you 3. I'll give you 2. And I still have not been able to get him to 2 years here. I'm taking it as 6.6. All right, good. Fogel wants 3 years. I will do that for him. So we're giving him 3.43 for 3 years. Then Nemestikov, what do you want? 4.1 for 1 year. That works. Amadio, he wants 4.6 for 3 years. Novak, he wants 4.4 for 3 years. Novak's actually been really good defensively, 71 defensive grade for a forward, and I managed to get him for 4.04 for 3 years. So those 4 have signed. We are now up to, where are we in terms of cap for next season? 39 million in cap space. I mean, considering the fact that we're currently at 67 million, well, Colton is on the injury list, but he's only making 3.9, so I think we'll give Kandata 2 years. Got for 2 years at 4.46. And then Amadio, I will also give 2 years, and got him for 2 years at 5.33. So now I think with all those signings out of the way, we can advance past the trade deadline and into the end of the regular season. All right, we have finished the regular season 34, 38, and 10, which is good enough for 9th in the Beings division, and we are 26th in the league. So it's better than I thought we would do for sure. It's the most wins in franchise history, most points, 78 points. But obviously this is mostly just a growth year for your Cocytus River Rats, obviously for Ruggiero, for Gavin McKenna. So, I mean, that's really what it's going to be for us for the next, minimum 3 to 4 years is just going to be growth for this team, right? Just a matter of waiting for prospects to develop and getting them on our team and finally developing a competitive team. So let's take a look at the player stats for this season. Ruggiero, in 39 games played, had a .915 save percentage and 2 shutouts with a goal saved above average of 8.85. Solid rookie season for the 20-year-old Ruggiero. And then Lindgren in 45 games played with 1 shutout, a 913 save percentage, and the 7.08 goal saved above average. A solid season for him. Skater-wise on defense, you have Perbix leading the way with 46 points on defense. Then you have Romanov with 41, Valimak with 35, Orlov with 26, Christensen with 19, Schmidt with 11, and Ovitu with 5 in 32 games played. At forward, you have Novak leading the way with 52 points, and then Gavin McKenna in his rookie season with 28 goals, 22 assists for 50 points on the season. Not bad at all. And Ross Colton with 38 in 65, Lawton with 34, Amadio with 33, McCarron with 31, Nemestikov and Fogel with 24, Waugh with 23, Grunstrom with 21, Gardner with 18, Kandana with 15, Tatar with 12, and Cini with 11. So that being done, I think we'll advance to see who wins the Stanley Cup in year number 3. And your 2026-27 Stanley Cup champions are the Utah Mammoth. This is their first Stanley Cup. The winning goal was scored by Dylan Gunther. They went through Winnipeg, Carolina in a sweep, Seattle in a sweep, and Buffalo in 7. All right, here we go. Time for the awards. For the Ted Lindsay, it is Connor McDavid with 38 goals, 70 assists for 108 points. Art Ross goes to Kirill Kaprizov of Seattle now. He had 54 goals, 58 assists for 112 points as his third 112-point season in a row. And Maurice Richard also goes to Kaprizov. Then you have the Lady Byng Trophy going to William Nylander, who had 37 goals, 52 assists for 89 points. The Bill Masterton goes to Matt Zuccarello of Pittsburgh, 39 years of age now, who had 22 goals for 48 points. Wow, that's quite the season for being 39. I mean, I know he's still a good player, but still, it's impressive that he's had this much longevity, I guess is what I mean. He's 39 and he's still out here getting nearly 50-point seasons. That's crazy. Then the Mark Messier Leadership Award goes to Matvey Michkov of Philly. And is he their captain? No, he is not. 31 goals and 69 points for him on this season. Then you have, for the Jennings Trophy, Akira Schmid of Buffalo, who between Vegas and Buffalo this season had 65 games played and a 923 save percentage. And for the Hart, between Kaprizov, Hughes, and McDavid, it is McDavid. For the Conn Smythe, it is Jackson Lacombe of Utah with 19 points and 21 games played. For the Calder, between Dmitry Bolchenikov, Gavin McKenna, and Andrew Basha, it is Gavin McKenna of your Cocytus River Rats. Very nice. For the Norris Trophy, between Morgan Riley, Aaron Ekblad, and Lane Hudson, it is Lane Hudson with 85 points for Montreal. For the Selke, between Suzuki, Kopitar, and Farabee, it is Farabee of Anaheim with 68 points. For the Vezina, between Schmid, Montembeault, and Shesterkin, it is Shesterkin with a 924 save percentage and 3 shutouts in 56 games played for the Rangers. Best GM, between Brad Treliving, Ron Francis, and Kent Hughes, it is Kent Hughes of Montreal. And for the Jack Adams, I'm going to get out of the way for this one. Between Andre Tourny, Martin St. Louis, and Craig Berube, it is Martin St. Louis of Montreal. So with all that being done, and with year number 3 in the books, I think it's about time to wrap this one up here. But not, of course, before I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And I will see you guys in the next one when we go through year number 4 with your Cocytus River Rats.